So, okay, I'm going to talk about self-confidence. Something that we're not all naturally born with, or most of us maybe aren't born with, but and that's something that I have struggled with, as an introverted person. Um, and a lot of introverts, I'm sure, struggle with this. Even extroverts, I have that side to me too at times. It just depends on who I'm around, but introverts can really struggle with that, and well, a lot of people, no matter if you're an introvert or extrovert, and you know, it's something that has to kind of be something that you learn maybe over time, or you just have to like start developing a new self concept of how you see yourself, because your self concept of who you are and how you see yourself is probably the most important thing you can do for yourself in your life. Because whatever you feel about yourself or how you see yourself is how others are going to see you. And the reason why that is for many reasons. But one is that basically, everybody, we're all connected, right? We're all in this cosmic web, the whole universe, everything is connected. I mean, it's not just people that are connected. We're connected to, the Mother Earth. We're connected to animals. We're connected to the ocean. We're connected to the moon and the sun and the clouds and the sky and just everything. We're connected, okay? Like I think Greg Braden wrote in his Matrix book. If you know who he is, look him up. He's great. You'll learn so much from him. Oh my gosh, on such deep, awesome things, on this kind of stuff about how we're all connected, and just the mode of prayer and how to pray in a way that's more effective than what most of us have been taught, where we beg and plead for God to, oh, please do this, please do that, no, even with that, you come from a place from, of knowing, not just begging, pleading, asking for God to do something. Because the thing is about God that I have learned after being a Christian most of my life, which I don't claim to be anymore, and I'm not ashamed to say that anymore. I haven't really even come out to some of my Christian family members to tell them that I don't claim to be a Christian anymore, but that does not mean I don't have a relationship with God, or that I don't believe in God, or even Jesus, or angels and the devil and all that stuff. Actually, I don't even know what to believe about the devil. But like, I know there's ultimately evil out there. There's evil spirits because I've seen them. I've my whole life had psychic abilities. So that means that, I'm clairvoyant. I'm also a psychic medium, and I have dealt with, yes, the dead, crossing them over. When they come to me, I seem to be like this lighthouse where they just come to me and they find me, and when they do, then I cross them over into the light, which ultimately will lead to their reincarnation if they still need it. If not, then they're like I guess what you would call like an ascended master, like Jesus Christ, then you won't be reincarnated, or like Yogananda, or, Saint Germain or whatever, then you won't need to be like reincarnated. No worries there. But most of us have many life lessons still to learn, and we have to go through a state of reincarnation to learn them. But that's, the God within us. See, that's another thing I was going to say. With our self-concept, one of the most important things that we can learn about ourselves as far as our self-concept goes is that, what I was trying to, I do a rabbit trail, I'm sorry, I just do that sometimes. My point earlier, what I was going to say about our self-concept, and the most important thing to learn about our self-concept is that, God lives in us, through us, and as us. So, that is one of the most powerful things I had ever heard in my life. Like, it was like something that I had heard in a movie called Eat, Pray, Love. Julia Roberts played in it. It's based on a true story of a woman who just travels abroad, and she's just trying to seek and find herself. And not enough of us probably do that, but I've spent more than at least, my God, I've spent at least 25 years. It's more than half my life, is trying to seek out and figure out who I am. And it's always ever changing, and always I'm always evolving and growing, which is good. We all should be. We should never just stay the same and stagnant and stay the same, like, person. I think at least something should change about us, as we're growing as a person. If you don't grow, then you're just going to be laying there like all stagnant and just, like, just, I don't know, you just really kind of don't really move forward in life. You just kind of stay in that same place, because you're not changing in your inside. And so anyways, the thing is once you get that concept and understand that you are God. I know that sounds crazy to some, but it is true. And if you have Christian beliefs or want to even just grab a Bible, you can look it up. Jesus said that. It's actually in the Old Testament also. It's in the New Testament as well. It's been a while since I can't remember the verse, but you know what? You could type it in to Google or your search engine and just type in, did Jesus say, did I not say you are gods? Because he said that to the Pharisees and Sadducees, and they called him a blasphemer for even saying that, because they're like, do you claim to be the Son of God? And he was like, yes. But he was trying to say we're all, God, though, not just sons of God, but we are God. I mean, he couldn't even say that. If he had said that, could you imagine how they would have reacted, the Sadducees and Pharisees who had him crucified in the first place, how they would have reacted then if he had just even said, I am God, you are God, and you are God, and you are God, and that frog over there is God, and that horse over there is God, because God wanted to, the first comes a big bang, because he was just a source of just one big ball of a void, darkness, but with a consciousness, because that's what we all are. We are what a lot of people call is Christ consciousness or God consciousness, whatever you want to call it. But we are the consciousness of God. Every single one of us, every living thing, all things are the consciousness of God. Even the trees, even the grass. That's why I really resonate with a lot of Native American Indians and their ways, because they held everything sacred about Mother Earth, Gaia, like, the land, which the European settlers came over here and took over. And if that never happened, America would still belong to the Indians, which I think it should have stayed that way. But that's just probably the Cherokee in me thinking, that a little bit, maybe a little biased, but maybe not, because I do have some European blood in me too. But obviously I'm pretty white. I don't look like a Native American Indian, but I do have some Cherokee. But just my soul, and I've been reincarnated in so many times in lifetimes being American Indian. And I will not say Native American Indian, because they were not natives. We're the Europeans are the natives. They should be called the Native Europeans, the Native Scottish, which I am too. I'm Scottish. I'm, oh God, let's see. I'm rabbit trailing, I know, but I'm English. I'm, Polish. Don't make any Polish jokes. I'm Finnish. I'm Irish. I'm Scottish. I'm Swedish. I'm Norwegian. So yeah, like, anyways, I have a lot of Eastern European blood, but also my great grandfather was 100% Cherokee Indian, and I know I had a lot of Indian. American Indian, on my grandma's side too, but she passed away, and unfortunately I never got to ask her, what tribe we were on that side. But anyway, back to what I was saying. Everything is God. You are God. And when you understand that concept, it will change your life and how you see yourself and how you see everything. It is the most life-giving thing you can do for yourself. It gives you a whole new perspective on everything and on everyone. Because if I'm God and you're God and everything's God, and that makes us all one and unified. And that's the whole purpose of coming here, is to understand that. That's why we're born in the first place. But there's so many things in this world, like, that keep us thinking we're separate, and divided, because, of whatever, like war. I mean, look at all the things that are going on right now, with the Ukraine, and possibly even with China and Taiwan coming soon. There might be something going on there. I don't know. It's scary. All this stuff is scary, But at the same time, we got to remember, if we're God, guess what? We are co-creators with God. We can create anything. We can manifest anything. All you have to do is believe, and of course I'm going to keep referring back to Jesus and what he taught, because, I haven't really studied in depth, like to the degree I did with Christianity and the Bible, any other religions, because I'm not really going to claim any religion any longer at this point in time. I'm not. So, but I'm sorry, like if that offends you, then you can go turn this off or whatever. But like, I will still refer to Jesus and some of his teachings, because there's so much truth in them, and in the Bible too. And I don't agree with the whole Bible. I don't agree with a lot of what the Bible actually says, because it's, man did put a lot of stuff in there that they, did to have control over the masses, and, you know, and stuff, so that they could put fear into us, and make us, even for example, fear going to hell and eternal damnation, which I studied lengthy in depth on that one. Um, for many years, it went back and forth, on believing whether there was eternal damnation or if there wasn't. And then I just got me like a Greek Bible, a Greek, uh, like lexicon or whatever, Greek, concordance. And I studied the heck out of the Bible to figure out on my own, without anybody else's input, if there was a hell or not, and came to my own conclusion, and just had a lot of revelations. I had a lot of downloads psychically. I was just getting all kinds of stuff, because I kept asking that question over and over to God. God, just show me the truth. Just please show me the truth, because I never want to be deceived again, because I had been deceived previously many times before. I got involved with this cult that I didn't know was a cult at first, and thought they were just doing good things for people. And, it turned out that they some of the stuff that was going on there was really just like downright dark and, evil, and, just allowing a lot of evil to go on at this place. And, I got hurt really bad. And, I don't know if any of you guys have ever, listened to a guy named Morg. I recommend listening to him. He's calls himself a Hyperion. I don't call myself a Hyperion, but I don't agree with everything he says, and nobody agrees with everything that everybody says. Even Morg, that's his name, says that. Like he's been on, different shows. It was a long time ago, I guess, but I mean, he was on TV. Hello, how many people can say that? Where he was swallowing a sword, and, on one of those, like, you know, those talent shows. So anyways, he talks about this kind of stuff too. But oh, I just lost my train of thought. um so let me think. So anyway, um yeah, so, oh yeah, he was raised Morg was raised in a Christian family, a very strict Christian family. um to the point, I mean, it devastated the poor guy, and he developed post-traumatic stress disorder from it. And he did find someone to confirm, like a real, licensed like psychologist, who said that's a real thing. And I realized, oh my God, that's what I've been through. Oh my gosh, like I I literally for 3 years went through heavy duty, like, mind control, from the cult leader, who at the end there, for the last 13 months before I got out of that, nothing to do with that cult, he, he whooped that whole time. He and I were like saying we were husband and wife, but his teaching on that was, called spiritual marriage. And, so we believed that we were married in the eyes of God, that God himself, if you want to believe God is a he, whatever. I think that God personally is both, holds, divine masculine and divine feminine energy, and can be fatherly or motherly to us. Like, like we've been taught in Christianity, that angels are basically unisex. They don't have sex or whatever. Well, it's like, that's what God was ultimately, in the very beginning, as source energy, God consciousness, um, but like, anyways, he, taught me and a lot of the people that he teaches about spiritual marriage, and he's a supposed spiritual marriage to this other woman for like 9 years or something like that. They've been together for quite some time, and I feel really bad for her because she reminds me of me so much back when I just submitted to anything he said to do. And he had me doing a lot of things that were disgustingly, I'll just say, perverse with our bodies. Okay. So, and, I look back on that and I can see how over a period of years that it got to that point. And then when it got so bad that I couldn't handle it anymore, and I just had all these, if you want to call them red flags, I was just like, what he's been teaching me and others, and what I called it our inner circle of people that he taught, that he trusted, amongst the other people that we took in, the homeless and alcoholics, drug addicts, and I was counseling pretty much all of them. It was hard, and living with 11 alcoholic men in a townhouse, and trying to counsel them and stuff, and singing them to bed at 5 a.m. in the morning and things like that. And but anyways, I basically, when I came out through all that, everybody, told me I seemed to get over it quite quickly. But I'm realizing, like, in the last few years, I mean, because this happened like back in 2009 to 2010, and I'm realizing in the last few years, like, there's like, we have something called cellular memory in our bodies, and I think that and it withholds information even from the DNA from our ancestors, and this has been scientifically proven. And like, I think that some of my body's been holding on to some of those memories, and it has come out in form of like pain and sickness and stuff like that in the body. But anyways, I'm rabbit trailing again. Some people might like my style of what I'm sharing and trying to teach, and some might not. But anyways, this is my first video in a really, really long time, and I'm trying to do the best I can. So please have patience with me. But so yeah, my main thing that I want to get across is that, you really should just work on, especially if you struggle with, self-confidence, or just having not much confidence at all, or not really believing in yourself, or not really knowing who you are, and you kind of maybe feel like you wear a mask and nobody really understands you or sees like the real you, and you just are tired of it, like I've been like that too. Like, I'm tired of pretending to be somebody I'm not. And in the last years of being a Christian, I just got like that. I just felt like I'm tired of feeling like, like I have to be Sister Christian here and be somebody I'm really not, and be perfect all the time. And I mean, who can uphold to that, I mean, and the people who do try to do that, end up breaking down. And like, I mean, I feel like I, like Morg, have a post-traumatic stress disorder, where he added some other letter with it that stood for, Christianity, I guess. So I don't know how he worded it, but yeah, so he found out that's a real thing that, can happen, and I'm sure just like it can with a lot of other religions, but for him and me, it was Christianity. And so I came out of Christianity, but I still hold on to my belief that I believe in God, but I see God as, a source of consciousness, that lives in us, through us, as us, and every living thing and everything, even rocks. I mean, I think God's been even that, he's God, he, she, whatever. I still kind of call God he, don't mean to, but God, source. People call God source. I like to call God the creator of the creatrix. That's something I learned actually from this book. I just barely started reading it, called The Sophia Code. And it is already so good. I mean, and it's by this woman called K-Ra, how do you say it? K-Ra? K-Ra? But anyways, yeah, like, and then another name that when God introduced God, Source, when Source introduced itself to her, you know, God said, "Call me Sophia." That's a woman's name. So, and to her, God came across as very feminine, like a mother figure almost. So, but also a father figure at times. So it's kind of interesting, and it kind of makes sense because there's male and female, and, in every living thing, pretty much, people, animals, whatever, bugs. um, and, so that would make sense that God would also, be a yin and yang energy, like all of us, male and female, yin and yang, divine masculine, divine feminine. But God, Source, would be the embodiment of both. So kind of God is like unisex, whatever. That's what kind of how I see God now. But anyway, work on, I would say, if you struggle with trying to figure out who you are, really truly, like, just being true to yourself, like, and sometimes, deep down, like, who you really are, and yeah, you just can't let it out. And that's where I've been, and I'm working on that right now, even making this video, because I've been wanting to make videos again. Like, I used to make them years ago, back when I was at that cult, actually. And but yeah, like, and I just, I was always preaching about love and God's love and just loving everybody, and still, that's still my message, actually, like, love everyone. It's not that hard, you guys. Love yourself though first, so you can love others. Because if you can't love yourself, how can you love anyone else? Really, I mean, it makes it kind of difficult to do. I mean, you can show acts of love. I'm not saying you can't show acts of love to someone if you don't really have love for yourself. Because I did that most of my life. I still showed acts of love to others, but never to myself. And what that ended up leading to, what I've realized through, with doing my shadow work, which is basically, looking at the darker sides of myself, the darker parts of myself that, most people, you don't want to look at. You can look that up too online, on YouTube, or online, and on Google search engine. Just look up shadow work and learn about that, because that's probably one of the best things you can do for yourself also, to help you understand, who you are, other parts of who you are that you've ignored, that maybe need healing, mostly healing, and to integrate that part of yourself, into, yourself as a whole, to the good sides that you like about yourself and everybody says they like about you, and, just the pure side of yourself, that good side of yourself, that healthy side of yourself, that knows how to love yourself in a healthy way. And just then to love others the way you love yourself. And I mean, that's in the Bible too, right? Jesus said, the two, basically laws to uphold, which he was basically abolishing all the 600, 900 something, laws that they had in the Old Testament that they followed in the Old Testament, which was impossible to do. Silly, stupid things, like, just trying to think of one really stupid. Well, I mean, like, an eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth, kind of teaching, if somebody takes your eye, well, then pluck their eye out too. Or, somebody, punch you in the mouth and you lose a tooth, and punch them in the mouth and lose a tooth. It's not how it works. Or, like, certificate of divorce. I mean, men back then, they could just be like giving their wives a certificate divorce, and just divorce them for no apparent reason whatsoever, and didn't just take on a new wife and leave that poor woman brokenhearted and penniless or whatever. But there's just a lot of different laws back then that, and Jesus was trying to just tell people, like, you really only need to live by two laws. First is love God with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your body, with all your might. And in that, he's actually saying, love yourself anyways, because you are God. If you can get that and understand that from everything I've been sharing. And then the second rule is just like it, he said. The second rule is love your neighbor as you love yourself. So they both go hand in hand, those two laws, those two rules that he was trying to get people to live by. And so basically that's how we should be trying to live our lives, you know? And if we did, this world would be a lot more peaceful. There would be no wars. And, you know, people would be a lot happier, I'm sure, for it. You know, I mean, could you imagine a world like that? Like, hello, sign me up for that. And, you know, heaven does exist within you. Yeah, because heaven exists within God, and God is in you. You are God in an avatar body. You know the movie Avatar? You know, if you haven't, look it up, watch it. You'll understand what I'm trying to say here, that basically God is in you and he's living through you as you. Okay? And wanted to base, I think God just wanted to experience everything through all of us, you know, and have as many experiences as possible. I mean, if you were God, wouldn't you do that? Wouldn't you want to just like experience everything on every level and just do it all? I mean, I know I do. I want to do everything. Like anything and everything that I can possibly think of, I want to do it. You know? Like crazy stuff, fun stuff, you know, all kinds of things, you know, and you know, just and yeah, and having great people to share life with, to do those fun things with too. And so, you know, that's why God, I think, made more than just one of himself, herself, whatever, source, you know, more than just one source. God made many sources. We're all sources. We're all a consciousness. We're all God consciousness. So, you know, it's really just amazing and kind of hard to wrap your mind around. I know, until you really start going down that rabbit hole, you know, like Neo in the Matrix, like follow the white rabbit, like in the beginning of the movie, you know, it's like, you know, that was typed to him from Trinity. He didn't know it was Trinity, but I mean, he, you know, so I got an itch in my nose, allergies. But like, yes, I guess God get allergies sometimes. But like yeah, so he saw that that girl had that tattoo that came to his front door on her shoulder that had a white rabbit, and he was not going to go out with them when there was a group of people that asked him to go out to the bar with them, and he didn't really know them. He was just giving them different programs like for computer programming, and he wasn't going to go, but then he saw on her shoulder, follow the white rabbit. And it was kind of like, that was kind of like you know, good you know, example of what I'm trying to express right now is like, you know, be like Neo, follow your intuition, follow that white rabbit and see where it takes you, you know. And you know, just keep digging down that rabbit hole until you get to where you want to be. And you might end up digging further and further, like I have over the years. That's what I do. I just keep digging. I'm just like that person that just wants to keep getting to the truth of the matter on everything. One thing, one bridge of event leads me to another bridge of events, and before you know it, it's like I'm just like I'm digging so deep into stuff that, and I love to research. I could research endlessly on topics I'm interested in or that I feel led to look up and research. And you might not be like that, but you know, if you want to like help yourself, if you're struggling with like self-confidence, just having confidence, being a confident person, I just suggest like really looking up things that you can online or in books or whatever, but online is easiest probably. You know, look up shadow work, look up how to have a healthy self-concept. Look up, here's a big important one, look up the law of assumption. The law of assumption. Now, many of you probably have heard of the law of attraction, and that is great. You will attract what you are. But the law of assumption is, I'm going to just tell you, amazing. It is way easier than the law of attraction. It is a lot more simpler to do. It just really mostly, it more so involves your faith, assuming something is already done, assuming something is already yours. Basically what Jesus taught, like he always kept saying, whatever you believe, whatever you have faith in, that's how it's going to be. And he also taught that as a man thinks in his heart, so will he be, basically saying same thing that Buddha said. Buddha said the same thing, basically. So, um, you know, whatever's in your heart, that's who you will be. However you see yourself, that's who you're going to be. So that's why it's so important to look up self-concept, to have a good self-concept of who you are, to see that you are God in an avatar body, that you are source, you are divine, you are divinely, created as God in an avatar body. You are pure magic, my friends. You're pure magic. My God, we are co-creators. We can create anything with our magic wand, which is our brain and our heart. And you add the two together, which is called coherence at the heart and the mind coherence. Look up Heart Math Institute. They talk about that. It is amazing. Heart Math Institute. You can sign up there, and they have amazing scientists on there who have amazing, awesome information about how important it is that whatever you think, that's what you're going to get. Like your thoughts create things. Your thoughts create things. Remember that. Thoughts create things. And emotion, like if you separate the E from motion, it's like E and then motion. Well, your emotions is what really pushes your thoughts into your reality, and become your desires or whatever you want, or your reality. But it can go both ways, for positive or negative at times, but you can make up a rule if you want with the law of assumption. I'm just now learning from listening to, I'm gonna say a name, I'm gonna name drop Sammy Ingram. Look her up, Sammy Ingram. She's got beautiful long blonde hair, gorgeous. Anyway, she's a great teacher on the law of assumption. And Amanda from Co-Creation, I think, sorry, am I saying that right? I'm trying to think if that's actually the name. Create Your Future. Look up Create Your Future with Amanda, and she's got tons of law of assumption coaches that will teach you how to create and manifest your desires and your wants. And they're all awesome. I've listened to a lot of them on there, and I have just been learning this more and more over the last few years, the law of assumption. I tried the law of attraction since 2011, and it just didn't work for me. And there's so many techniques that they tell you to do that I tried and they didn't work for me. But law of assumption, where it differs from the law of attraction, is about teaching about self-concept and the God state, and walking into the God state and being, that you're God in an avatar body. That you are God incarnate. You are God. You can do anything. You can be anything you want. You can have anything you want. You can create whatever it is you are desiring, and it might not show up like that, but sometimes it does. But a lot of times I have a fleeting thought, like, oh, I wish I had that, and the next thing I know, it's like a day later or a month later, and I have it, and it's like, oh my gosh, I remember thinking I wanted that, and now I have it. It's like, whoa. So our thoughts are that powerful, seriously. You don't even have to have the emotions to back it up and to push it out into your reality. You can just think it, really. Just thinking it. Thinking I want that, and then just kind of go on about your business. Don't obsess over it. Just be like, I want that. Yeah, I want that. But have that foundation of knowing already that you are God and you are a master manifester. Keep saying that to yourself. I'm a master manifester, and I can have whatever I want. I can be whatever I want and do whatever I want and have whatever I want or have whoever I want. Just believe, just know that you know that you know that you know that you know. Anyways, this is getting really long, and I didn't plan on making my first video be, oh gosh, 34 minutes. Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna tidy this up right now, and I hope that this has helped someone. I know I rabbit trail a lot. I am sorry about that. Like, I don't know why I do that. I guess it's a part of my personality. It's the me mixed with God, and that's what you come up with, is me rabbit trailing onto different topics, and then I try to get back to what I was saying always. Sometimes I might even have a big brain fart and forget what I was saying altogether, and then but I always think if it was really important enough, I'll remember eventually, and then I usually do. So anyways, I hope that you guys have a great morning, day, night, and check out some of the things that I mentioned. I'll try to, put in the description everything I mentioned in the video that I can remember. If I forget something, I'm sorry. But yeah, just have a blessed life, you guys. Live the life that you dream of. You can have it. You can be whatever you want to. You can be whatever you dream of. And, all you have to do is just know that you're God in an avatar body, in this body, and you can have whatever you want, be whatever you want, do whatever you want, and it's simple as that. And when you can get that down, that self-concept down, I think that for your foundation first, before you try to start manifesting things and trying to make things happen, in your life, to manifest into your reality, and when I say manifest, I mean like, getting something, receiving something in your grasp, and it's yours. You know what I mean? That's what I mean by manifesting. In case you didn't know what I was referring to every time I say manifesting something. So, with that being said, happy manifesting. All right. Well, you guys have a great, great life. Let me just just keep telling yourself too that I have the best life. I have a perfect life. It is a beautiful life, and I'm gonna keep creating it, and it's just gonna be wonderful. And I like to say too, one of my favorite affirmations, and look up how to do affirmations. They're really easy. They're just things that you say. It might not sound true yet, or it might not be true yet, but you say it anyways. Like I say, I am the woman who's known for having it all. And all is all, right? Everything. So I mean, you could just have a good blanket of affirmations, like you could say, I am the richest person that anybody's ever known. I am the happiest person everybody meets. Everybody loves me. Everybody, when they see me, they just smile. I'm like the healthiest person ever. Like whatever. Just these affirmations may not be true at the moment, but eventually, and you do this more for yourself than to try to make it manifest, so you can rewire your thinking to thinking positive instead of more on the negative side, because that's how most of us, let's face it, most of us have been raised to be thinking more on the negative side than the positive side, unfortunately. So we have to kind of retrain and rewire our brain, our thoughts. And there's great people who can help you, teach you how to do that. Like I said, look up Greg Braden, and maybe, well, he's his best friend, Dr. Bruce Lipton. Let's see, who teaches on how to wire the brain? Oh yes, Dr. Joe Dispenza. He's great. He's really great at that. I got a bunch of his stuff, books, tapes, CDs, DVDs, and Greg Braden stuff too. I haven't gotten anything of Bruce Lipton yet, but I probably will. Anyways, look up some of these names and just really just dive in, and do some fun work on yourself, but then do the shadow work too, like do the fun stuff with the affirmations. And there's other things you can do, like scripting and writing out like what you want to be right now, as if it's already happened. Like, yeah, I have this, and it's wonderful, and it's making my life this much easier having this thing, and it'll feel like fake and everything at first, like I'm just delusional, what am I doing? But eventually it'll catch up with your brain in there and your heart, and it'll start to solidify. And you just keep doing things like affirmations. You can do the scripting thing. I don't really do that to really I like to do also something that you kind God, this is getting so long, this video. I'm so sorry. But like, no, actually, I'm not sorry, because this is good stuff. Hello. Gosh, I need like a drink of my tea. But no, like, there's other things too that you can do to help yourself get into that God state, or just, to help you focus on the things that you do want instead of what you don't want, because you can manifest the things you don't want. That's what I was going to say earlier. Sorry, I rabbit trailed. I was starting to say, using the law of assumption can work both ways, for the negative or the positive. You want it to work for the positive, and, but it can go for the negative, unless you have a belief that basically everything in your brain and your subconscious thinks it knows better than to give you anything you don't want. Like, that's what Sammy Ingram just started teaching, and I like that. Like, she says, what's it called that we're doing here? What we're teaching here? The law of assumption, right? The law of assumption. So if you assume something, then it has to happen. It has to manifest, if you're assuming it. So if you're assuming something like, okay, my brain just doesn't manifest the things I don't want. It just doesn't. And that's that. My brain only manifests the things I want because it knows better. It knows better. It knows to only manifest the things I want. That's something that she's just started teaching that I really like a lot. I'm like, that is a really good way to believe. Like, yes, I'm going to start believing that way. I'm just going to start retraining my mind to think that way. So, I don't manifest things that I don't want because I've been doing that for too long. Most of us are mostly manifesting things we don't want, and we keep wondering why we keep manifesting things we don't want, because we keep telling ourselves the same old story over and over again. And why we keep getting the same old story over and over again is because we keep telling ourselves the same old story over and over again on the same topic, on the same subject. So if we stop doing that and start telling a new story, telling ourselves a new story of what we do want instead of what we don't want, or a new story of who we are in our identity, in our self-concept, we will start becoming that person, slowly but surely, maybe, or maybe just quantum jumping overnight into becoming that person. Hey, anything's possible. We're gods. Hello. Even Jesus Christ said so. And a lot of the other ascended masters said so also, who taught these great, amazing, life-transforming things where, it helped people to become, like these magical creatures who can create anything they want and be anything they want and do anything they want anything. I mean, you name it, So anyways, yeah, I think I better cut this off. It's 42 minutes, and I know, like, a lot of people will make a lot of longer videos than this, but I just know that I have no idea, like, when I upload this, if my, I'm gonna, put this on my YouTube, I think. So I'm gonna probably actually make a new YouTube channel. I might put this on there, and I have an old one that I don't really want it on. I'd rather start up a new one and start this all fresh and new, because this is like totally different topics than what I have on my old page, and I really don't have anything on there anymore. Yeah, I wanted to start a new one, so this one might not go on there. I don't know. It might not go on at all. I have no idea. Maybe I might have to cut this in half and make it a 2-parter or something. Who knows? Or a 3-part or 4-part. I don't know how long that they allow you to make a video when you first start a new YouTube channel and stuff nowadays. But I know when I first got my first YouTube channel, it was probably back in 2007, and they only allowed you like 14.5 minutes, I think, to start out. But then the longer you have your account, then you can make longer and longer videos. So I can make a 2-hour video on there if I wanted right now. So if I decide to put this on there, I don't know. I may or may not. I do want to create a new YouTube channel. And so I might put this on my old one, and then, kind of like direct you to the new YouTube channel. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. I can do whatever I want because I'm God. Well, you know what I mean. And you're God. You're God. I'm God. We're all God. We're all one. We are together. We are one. We are unified. We are God droplets. I don't know what you would call it. Like rain droplets, God droplets. It's like the ocean, every little droplet of the ocean. It's kind of like we are all the collective, all the people around the world make up this embodiment of God, like the ocean. Just a little example there for you. But yeah, so, or all the grains of the sand, that's us, we're all together as one, and we love each other, and and basically I'm you and you're me pushed out, and then we're all just God pushed out. And if you look up Create Your Future with Amanda, she really explains that a lot. Or where she learned it, and a lot of us learned, the law of assumption, which I highly recommend researching and learning big time. It'll change your life. Is Neville Goddard. And I think he started teaching the law of assumption probably back in like the early 1950s, maybe even in the late 1940s. And then there's another lady, Erin Scoville Shin, I think was her name. And I think she preceded him just maybe by like 10 years or something like that. And he didn't even really know of her. And then he came out and started teaching it too. I mean, at least I thought that's what I heard, that he didn't even know who she was. I mean, or she preceded him maybe even by 20 years or something like that. Like, maybe it was like late 1930s. I don't know. She really started out a long time ago. But there's stuff on YouTube with her too. I think that's her name. Something Scoville Shin. I thought it was Erin. It might be something else, but Scoville Shin. And she wrote books, and he written books. Neville Goddard. So you can look up his teachings, but like I just recommend highly, if you want to learn about his teachings, a little bit more simplified for our times, I'd say go watch Amanda on createyourfuture.co, or that's her website, or just looking her up, Amanda Create Your Future, on the YouTube channel and through the YouTube search engine. And like I said, she's got tons of beautiful coaches on there. So far, they're all women, which is awesome. They're all amazing women that teach on the law of assumption. And a lot of them will, kind of maybe touch base more on something that works the most for them, on how to help them create and manifest things that they want with using the law of assumption. One that I like, I think her name is Katie. I really like her. She calls it what she teaches mostly on is the inner dialogue that you have in your mind, like in your brain, where you have a conversation with someone, like it might seem futuristic, but you look at like you're having the conversation with this person now, and you're having a conversation that you want to have. Like, say you're trying to, create a special person, like to have a romantic relationship with. That's something that they really teach a lot on there. If you're trying to manifest like the love of your life or something, that's what they call SP, your special person, on there. Like, when you're trying to manifest your SP, they have that title a lot on there. And I think Sammy Ingram might have that on there too. Something about your SP, how to manifest your SP, which stands for your special person, like whoever you might have in mind, or even somebody that you don't even know yet, but you just want, what you're looking for, what you want, and you're just trying to manifest that person into your life. You can like do these inner dialogues, in your brain, in your mind, in your thoughts, as if it's really happening with this person, or a person you already have in your mind that you kind of have the hots for, and you really want to like be more than maybe friends, or you maybe they don't even know who you are, but you've noticed them at the coffee shop or whatever, like, and you just start having this like monologue going on in your head, like, oh yeah, let's get a cup of coffee sometime, since you're here, and we're already here, and you have the coffee, like let's go over there and sit and talk. And you imagine them saying this to you, not the other way around, and you just do that, but you do it, and then you kind of like just believe that it really just happened. Your imagination is so powerful. I say that's the other thing I also suggest, is looking up the power of your imagination. Albert Einstein even said that. He said, hang on, one of my favorite quotes here: imagination is everything. It is the preview of life's coming attractions. So yeah, that's true. It is the preview of life's coming attractions, your imagination. Okay? So yeah, I suggest looking up the power of using your imagination. That is a major thing also that we use in the law of using the law of assumption. And you can look up that this is a real thing. It's scientifically proven to work, just like the law of attraction, just like the law of gravity. Okay, these laws are universal laws. I think there's a total of 24 universal laws that God set into motion, and that work no matter what you are going to do. Even if you don't believe in what I'm saying in the law of assumption and being able to create your desires and whatever you want into your reality, you know, you can look it up. It's scientifically proven, you know, and a lot of it just boils down to having faith in what you're saying and believing that it's true and that it's already done. You know, because really, I mean, even Eckhart Tolle, he's always saying, like, all we really have here all we really have is the now, not the past, not the future, but just now. The past is gone. The future is, you know, down ways, whatever. But, you know, everything really, actually, the past and the past, actually, I think it was Albert Einstein that said that the past and the present and the future are all happening all at the same time. Now try to wrap your minds around that one. But like, yeah, it really is true. And I've seen proof of it. Like, it is amazing how that is so true. I mean, you can start getting into the whole like parallel universes, multi-universes, but parallel realities. You can look up stuff on that and it will blow your mind. I mean, there's many versions of you that's living different lives in different realities. And it's just, and Albert Einstein believed this. I mean, he kind of like basically that's what he was trying to say without sounding crazy back in his time. But like, you know, yeah, like there's a lot of teachings on this on the internet. You know, you can look up people who teach the law of assumption and parallel realities. Actually, there's some new coaches on Amanda's Create Your Future, you know, YouTube, where she's got a new lady on there. Oh God, I just forgot her name. I've only watched her a couple times, but she's beautiful. She's got long blonde hair and really sweet, and she talks about this. But yeah, just check this out. I mean, she talks about how, you know, there are such thing as parallel realities. Actually, there's a few of them, not just her. There's a few coaches on there. I'm sorry. I meant there's a few, several. I don't know how many. A lot of them actually are more and more teaching about the different parallel realities, where, you know, there's many of us, different versions of us that exist, you know, that kind of like branched out from whatever decision that was made at different times in our lives. And it's also called quantum jumping, I think, or something. Quantum jumping and quantum realities and parallel realities. If you look those up, like, your mind will be blown. um but yeah, like, that's really some deep stuff, but you don't need to really get into all that yet. I mean, especially if you're just starting out on, you know, trying to just work on yourself and figure out who you are, what you want. Like, I just highly suggest like listening to teachings on the law of assumption, and finding who you like on there. There's other teachers on there too. Those are just the ones I really like to watch the most. Sammy Ingram and Amanda from Create Your Future. And I know that there's somebody new I just started watching on there. Oh, I can't remember what their name was. I remember his. Well, there's this one guy I just started watching. His name is Token, but he doesn't go by that. Oh darn it! And what's the name of his channel? You know, I'll find out, and then I'll put it in the description below. He's really great at teaching the law of attraction and the law of assumption, both things, to create your future. And he's like me, you know, but I'm probably worse. But he rabbit trails too. But I really like his like oh my gosh, he really helped me put a different perspective on the law of assumption teachings with some stuff that I hadn't even thought of or that I haven't heard anybody else say that I thought was really good. Like really, really, really good. Oh man, it was so good. Anyways, it's getting late. I gotta go. It's like, oh my gosh, it is 12:30. I gotta go. I need to get ready for bed. So anyways, now we're going on 55 minutes and 13 seconds. So I'm sorry this is so long. I probably am gonna put this on my old YouTube channel and then start my new YouTube channel because this probably is too long to go on the new one. And yes, like, and you're gonna see my videos probably below where I talk about the cult that I was in, and I suggest you watch it and stay away from that cult. They made a video, well, my ex, who's the cult leader, I'll just say his initials DP. And I can't remember her name. She's a real sweetie. I really appreciate her, and I want her to know that I really appreciate that she didn't say a bunch of horrible things about me, but she did say that I was lying about things about Doug, which definitely is not the truth. Obviously, Doug's not going to let her know the truth of things that he said to me and did to me and put me through. So he can keep her because he's a covert narcissist, and they are very good liars and very good actors. That's all in my videos about the cult that I was in. I got part 1, part 2, part 3, I think on there, or part 1, part 2. I can't remember. It might be, I can't remember how many videos I made, but, basically I talk about everything that I went through in that cult. That is why I ended up having post-traumatic stress disorder through going by DP's, teachings that he taught me, which led me to leave my husband, who I was happily married to, back in 2007. He was my best friend, and I loved him with all my heart, and I got super brainwashed with DP's teachings, twisting the Bible verses into something just that messed with my mind and made me believe that I was committing adultery against God, of all things, which sounds so ridiculous when you think about it. I mean, obviously, of course, it's going to sound more ridiculous to you probably, but to me, it made sense with the scriptures that, DP was giving me at the time. And I'm like, oh my God, we didn't ask for permission to get married. We're committing adultery against God. Oh no, this stupid stuff. But anyways, he taught me that for so long, and I kept fighting it in my mind, like, oh, that's not true, that's not true. And that's just, this can't be true. This can't be true. And I mean, I went through that for like probably 6-7 months before I came to the I want to say realization, not realization. I mean, I should say more like not realization. I didn't mean realization. What I meant was, is when I came to the point where I got finally totally delusional, almost, I would more say delusional, just, mind controlled, in a sense where I was like, brainwashed. I was brainwashed is what it was, by this supposed Christian cult leader. And he was on, years ago, I think back in 2016, I think it was, he was on Dr. Phil. I was supposed to be on there, but I didn't get the email until too late that they sent me on YouTube, 4 months too late, or else I might have been on there. And then they did a show on DP and his cult, also on a show called Our America with Lisa Ling. And I was on there briefly with just a little voice snippet that they put of mine on there. After 8 months of having me write and rewrite and rewrite, everything that they wanted me to like remember what I went through, and I thought they really wanted me to like share everything, and then it just came down to them just putting like a tiny little sentence of basically that God would whack us if, basically God would whack us if, we didn't listen to the voice of God in our heads and what he was telling us to do. Even if it was something, that we didn't want to do, we had to do it, or else God was going to whack us, and whack obviously meant kill us. That's what he taught a lot of us. So that was the only line that they used of what I said out of everything I said. And I said so much more. So that's why I ended up making my own different YouTube videos, because they found me originally. The producers of Lisa Lang found me through old videos that I made when I first came out of that cult, because I came out publicly and I apologized to my ex-husband, his family, our friends, our family, everybody I could think of, and anybody that I introduced to that cult, because I felt responsible. I was heartbroken. I can't tell you how much crying I did till the blood vessels in my eyes and around my face broke. I mean, I did a lot of crying because I just thought, oh my gosh, how many lives I could have ruined, just by promoting, DP and his cult through even the YouTube videos I was making while I was there at the time. I was making a lot of them at the time, but I wasn't allowed to say that I was DP's spiritual wife. But now all of a sudden, this new spiritual wife that he's with, she's allowed to say she's his spiritual wife, or just wife. She won't say spiritual wife, it sounds like, on there. When I wasn't even looking for the any like specific video. Yeah, I found it, but I was just shocked to see that she made a video about saying that I had lied about Doug, and the things I was saying about him in my videos were lies, which you be the judge. You watch my videos and then you go check out his channels and stuff and see for yourself. And you discern if you think I'm lying or not. Okay, because I'm not a liar, for one. I don't lie about anything, and that has been something about me my entire life that I have never done. I just, except when I got involved with DP. When I got involved under DP and his teachings, I then became a liar, actually, and I started lying, which made me very uncomfortable, and I hated myself for. But before that, I had a really clean, good track about, not lying and stuff. And yeah, and then I've gone back to that. I've lived a life of an honest life, and just not lying. I can't stand lying. I don't like being lied to. I can't stand lies. I live to tell the truth, and I live for the truth. And always seeking out the truth on everything. So, the fact that she said that I was lying, I feel sad for her that she believes him on that. He's probably never even allowed her to watch my videos, or if it's not that, then she's just probably choosing to not watch them, because maybe there might be something she's afraid that she might hear and not like in there. I don't know, but if she watched all the way through my videos, she could probably maybe discern, like, if I'm lying or not. I don't know. She's been with him for so long and maybe loves him so much. I don't know. She might not believe what I'm saying. I mean, people are going to believe what they want to believe. So it's not my job to make people believe anything. We all have our choices to believe what we want, and, free will to believe what we want. And so she can believe if that I lied about Doug if she wants, but I never lied about a single thing I said in my videos about Doug. I don't know how I could possibly make up those things. There's no way. And it's sad that, a lot of people who were coming out about him and his teachings all took their videos down. I took mine down for a while, and I just recently put them back up. And they were made like 3 years ago, when I look different. Like, I've lost a lot of weight since then, but back then, like, I'm a vegetarian also, like, now I'm like skinny mini. But like back then, I look a little heavier when I made those videos about when I was in that cult with DP. And and I made a best friend through all that, though. Even though we don't talk now, I still think about her. I still love her. I still pray for her. But my life has taken a totally different direction than hers. And I think, we're both where we ought to be and everything, but I wish her nothing but the best. But, she, unfortunately ended up going back there, which I never thought she would do, because she had nowhere else to go, unfortunately, I think was what the case was. I found out through a mutual friend that she was staying with before she went back there. And I was having so many dreams at that time, too. It was crazy that things were not good there, and yeah. So anyways, I still have some dreams. Like, I think that some of them are prophetic, that things are going to get real bad, and people are going to start turning on him, because they're going to see what a fake he is. And he is a covert narcissist, and he's a very good actor. He can turn on the waterworks like that and turn it off like that. I've seen him do it within a split second, and talk about creepy. You know, somebody be able to do that. I'd never seen nothing like that. I was like, wow, how do you do that? And I didn't even know what narcissism was even yet, you know, at the time. So, but anyways, enough of that. Ugh, yucky stuff. So yeah, so I'm probably gonna put this on my regular channel, and then I'm gonna make a new YouTube channel. I might not put, you know, put anything on here about it, just because I want to start fresh and anew. But maybe you'll catch me on there, or not. I'll try to. I'll think on it. You know, that's if I put this on my regular YouTube channel before I make my new one. Still not sure what I'm gonna do. This might not even go up. I don't know. I don't know yet. I probably should put it up. You know, I think that this took a lot for me to do, and I'm kind of proud of myself. Like, you know, it's been so long, and I've kept my mouth shut for so long on so much of what I've wanted to like help people learn, and you know, teach people on stuff, especially on the law of assumption. I'm really passionate about that right now, and have been for the last few years. And so yeah, look it up, and I'll leave a bunch of stuff down in this description that you can look up, and just hit the link, and it'll hopefully take you, you know, to, you know, something on it. And or you can type it in, you know, whatever. So yeah, anyways, I'm really getting tired, so I'm gonna go. I love you guys, and thank you for taking the time. If you got this far through my video, watching it, you know, God bless you. I mean, bless you. Namaste. um yeah, but seriously, thank you for watching my video. If you've come this far, even, you know, if you just came half this far, just, gosh, you know, hopefully somebody gets something out of this. You know, whoever this is meant for, they'll get it. You know, that's the way I gotta see it. I mean, if it's just meant for one person, that one person will get this video, and that'll be great, as long as it just blesses you and teaches you something that will be helpful to you, and help you grow and evolve into the person that you want to be, and into having the life you've always dreamed of, you know, having. So yeah, anyways, I'm gonna go, and sorry for yammering on and rabbit trailing and all that in my video. So thank you again for watching, and you take care, you guys. Okay, bye.